So Sahad will come in and do the theme music for us every now and then. He's our singer.
And the soundboard.
And the soundboard.
Excellent, excellent trumpet player.
I do believe we are now live. Let me see. Let me close this so I don't get the echo back. You know, when you're high vibrational and you're dealing with technology, sometimes you just need to request for patience. Okay, I think we are all good to go. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
Yep, there we go. Awesome. We are live. Okay. So we've got people streaming or tapping in from multiple streaming services
platforms.
So we would like to acknowledge all of you who are tuning in, whether if you're in the Zoom room or if you're on YouTube or on Facebook. We are honored and excited to have you here. Welcome to Cozmic Convos. So real quick, before we get into the meditation, we have some announcements. So we just created a membership portal. So we are launching that as of when this replay comes out for all of those who are watching later. In the email will be a link to our new portal. It'll be cosmicconvos.com. So we're really excited about that. We're just awaiting final touches, basically. And that will be live. And so you'll be able to access the entire archive of all of our previous shows. And if you're VIP, you will have all of the 13 moon calendar trainings by Sahat, as well as any additional channelings from Samuel the Angelic Knight. So we're going to have all of those in a streamlined location for you. So that way you don't have to go through YouTube and figure it out. So we'll have it all organized and beautiful just for you. So we're super excited about that. We also have one more announcement. On March 26th, we are hosting a masterclass called Mastering Your Life. So if you ever feel like you are experiencing a little stagnation, or if you're experiencing just like you're looking to reach the next level, but you're experiencing some kind of friction in between, we're going to help you get over that by helping you build consistency and discipline in everything that you do. So we have the link for that. We'll be dropping the links throughout the show tonight. But for now, we want you to just be here and be one with us as we continue to grow along this journey. And then we'll drop the links later on in the show. So yes, join us. So it'll be March 26th at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So mark your calendars now.
Yes, come join us because it's going to be lit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So we like to begin this beautiful energetic space with a little bit of meditation. But since we have some new faces today, I would love if we can do it really quick. If we can go around the room and just do a quick introduction of who you are, what you do, and what you are looking forward to in this spiritual community. I would like to start with Samuel. Samuel is our veteran. He is one of the individuals who work with us a lot doing Cosmic Convos. He will provide sacred channels. He is part of the VIP package. So Samuel, why don't you come out and introduce yourself real quick?
Hello, everybody. You got to forgive me. I'm not quite camera ready, but I'll introduce myself. Thank you, Sahat and Ray. Yes, everyone. My name is Samuel the Angelic Knight. Along with Ray and Sahat, I do spiritual counseling, and I am a divine link. I have honed the ability to step aside my own consciousness and allow myself and consciousness to be a vessel to bring forth other higher consciousness, such as tapping into the divine council, archangels, and some ascended masters. And when I do sessions, I can tap into a person's own frequency, their own Akashic records, to bring forth a unique message for their soul that they need right on time. So look forward to being with you guys tonight, having some fun.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you. All right. Akyiaa, you want to go next?
Unmute myself. Hey, my favorite spiritual couple.
Divine evening.
Beloved.
So good to see your beautiful faces. I'm Akyiaa Azula. I'm the creative creation, the fastest transformational system on the planet. And I was excited to get Ray's invite. I'm really impressed with what her and Sayahat have been doing. They're part of my morning meetup group, Accountability for Entrepreneurs. And they have just been killing it with the technology, getting all their systems up and running. I am just so impressed with the work that they're doing. And they've been an inspiration to me. And I am just excited to be here tonight to support y'all and keep this conversation going. We need more of this in the world.
Thank you so much, beloved. And also shout out to Akyiaa because she's doing really like beautiful things right now. She has a course. As a matter of fact, love, if you have the link, absolutely drop it in the chat for those who would like to join. She has a experience that she's going through every Sunday called Creation for Manifestation. It is transformational, let me tell you. So we would love to see you guys there. And also she's going to be a special guest on our show next week. So we are really excited and honored to have her next week as well.
Absolutely. She be tuned in the spirit.
Definitely. San, you want to go next real quick?
Sure. Hello, everybody. My name is Cassandra. I met these two beautiful beings at a pop-up shop and haven't been able to turn them loose since then. I love everything that they do. Ray has been went through her 7-week course on my spiritual path, and I just can't wait for more stuff for them to do. I'm so proud of y'all. Happy.
Thank you, lovely. We love you. Let's see. Tony Manifest. You want to hop on real quick? You're next on my screen.
Hey, peace, love.
Hi,
What are you
lovely.
talking about?
Oh, just introduce yourself really quick.
Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just got off work. I'm Tony Manifest. I am a musical artist, self-proclaimed alchemist, healer, sorry, I am with some coworkers. They are bothering me. Woo! Yeah, I do a lot of things. I love Ray and Sahat. Those are my homies. I'm glad to be here. What else do I say? Tell me what to say.
You did great. Thank you.
Okay. All right,
Be safe on your travels.
Yes, don't get snatched up now.
Alrighty.
Okay, it's getting hot. Spirit's already flowing through me. Okay, let's zoom through these really quick. All right, Monique, you want to hop on next?
Good evening, everyone. I am Monique, the coach, CEO and creator of Dream with Your Eyes Open, LLC. I teach women how to connect with themselves in order to attract their partner. I met Rai and Sahat on the morning meetup, our accountability morning club every day. And I don't know, I'm excited to learn whatever it is y'all teaching. I am a sponge on tonight. Every time I'm ready to go to the next level, Source places exactly who I need in my space. And all of these boxes I see, these bing, 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 I'm ready to connect with everybody. So yes, I'm open.
That energy.
I love it. Thank you.
Yes.
It looks like the rest of you do not have your cameras on. Oh, Destin just hopped on. Destin, go ahead, hop on really quick. And let us know who you are. If you would like to introduce yourself and your camera is off, just go ahead and raise your hand and we'll go ahead and highlight you. Thank you.
Peace and blessings, y'all.
Welcome.
How y'all feeling?
Yeah, loving our MMU family.
Yeah, we are fantastic. We are super fantastic.
Magnificent.
Yeah, definitely. How you doing, brother?
Hey, doing really great. Just woke up from a nice nap.
Hey.
So I'm Destin with the Steady Stepping Podcast, and I'm just me flowing and transitioning into the best version of myself that I have been imagining. Going through life, being more intentional every day that I have the conscious ability to, and just super excited to be here and tap in and grow. So that's me. Let's grow.
Thank you,
Thank
brother.
you. Thank you, brother.
All right. So it doesn't look like anyone else has turned their camera on. So let's go ahead and just get the show rolling for tonight. Thank you for everyone who did tap in and did share. Welcome. We honor you. We love you. We appreciate you. And let's get into some meditations.
Yes.
So wherever you are, I know, Tony, you're out and about and moving around. So just be safe out there. But if you are at home, seated or in a comfortable position, go ahead and close your eyes. And we like to start with a little heart resonance. So let's connect to every individual person in this circle, in this room. And let's first start with breath. I want you to take a full cleansing inhale. In through your nose. And full exhale. And as you exhale, release all of the breath from within your lungs. Empty it out all the way. Inhale together. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to hold at the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then release. 2, 3, 4. And hold. 2, 3, 4. I want you to continue this cycle of breath as I speak. In for 4 counts. Hold for 4 counts. Exhale for 4 counts. And hold for 4 counts. Continue this cycle of breath and just ease into the sound of my voice. This is called a circuit breath, which connects both hemispheres of the brain, allowing you to flow through your analytical side and your creative side. At the end of the day, it's important to connect these sides because most of us operate in one or the other majority of the time. This is your opportunity to unify your breath, your brain, your body, and your spirit. Continue with the circuit of breath. Allow the communication within you to flow. And I want you to feel the energy. You can even put a hand on your heart if you'd like. Feel the energy of every single being that is watching on all the different platforms, now and in the future. See, in this quantum moment, there is only now. So whether if you're watching in this time and space, or if you are watching sometime in the future, we are still collective and contributing to this energetic frequency together in this moment. So I just want you to feel the love resonating from each and every single heart that is with us in this moment. The word namaste means the God in me greets the God in you. And just without words, allow the beauty of our hearts to connect with one another. Wherever we are on this planet right now, we are casting a beacon of light to those around us. Let us all operate in this space of gratitude and love for one another, for self. Let's take another nourishing deep breath together. And on the exhale this time, let's release anything left over from your day that does not belong in this space. And when you're ready, you can come back into your body, bring your physical awareness back into this room. Blink your eyes open and join us back in the Zoom as well.
Angles.
Yeah. I like to do heart resonance on the third Thursdays because, we get different faces that cycle through. And it's beautiful because just having everyone connect with each other, we're all walking this beautiful, different path in life, and we get to cross paths every now and then. So just allowing our hearts to touch each other,
Absolutely.
it means a lot.
Yes, because we are all reflections of the divine, and we are all reflections of each other. So just remembering and bringing awareness to that and living in that moment, you start to see how abundant and joyful life really is.
Yes, very true, very true. Okay, let's get out of the meditative space. Let's get a little energy pumping. I'm really excited for today's topic because I feel like it's a little bit of a hot topic. I feel like a lot of people have been talking about there being some kind of recession on the brink. And so we are in a space right now where we want to address that. And we want to prepare you emotionally, mentally, and physically for what they say is a recession. And before we get into that, I like to talk about a little mindset before we dive in. And Kevin Trudeau said this, and I absolutely love this quote. When your mind is right, the facts don't count. It's like, what, Ray? What do you mean? The facts don't count. Aren't facts facts? Well, he said a mentor said that to him, and he went up to him and was like, I don't understand. Like, why would you say that? Like, that's not true. Facts are facts. And he was like, well, the truth is that the facts, the things that you think are facts, are really only somebody else's opinion anyway, somebody else's perspective anyway. So we have people that are telling us, oh my God, it's about to be a recession, right? Which builds fear in the economy. And people begin to operate and act as if, oh my gosh, there's a recession coming, right? Mm-hmm. They act out of fear. They act out of survival, right? So we are going to dive into some principles of the richest man in Babylon in order to show you how you can become recession proof and how you can build generational wealth with the little that you have. It just takes one step at a time, one step at a time. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say absolutely, because not so long ago, our ancestors, for the majority, all had some kind of trade or business, which is where a lot of people got their last names, blacksmiths, goldsmiths, bakers, everybody was doing something. And we've strayed away from that and got to the point where we are, or a lot of us were working towards somebody else's dream. And this pandemic recently showed us and gave us the opportunity to sit down, reflect, and figure out how we gonna make it work. And the best way to do it is just go with the flow of something that you came here to do. What are you passionate about doing? Because we all have these gifts that we can share with the world. You all have a light that's meant to be shared with others.
Yeah. So I can't remember who said this, but your gifts are not yours. They belong to everybody else. They belong to the world. You're meant to give them. You're meant to share them. They're not yours. So if you're sitting on some gifts right now, you're being real selfish. You're being real selfish right now. So I want you to, so we're about to get into the teaching about the principles from the book, The Richest Man in Babylon. So if you've read that book, or if you're familiar with that book, drop a me in the chat really quick. I just want to see who is already, where we're at. Okay, Monique, that's what's up. That's what's
Awesome,
up.
awesome.
It's such a good book, isn't it?
It is.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let me share the screen a long time ago. Okay. Okay.
It's a great book to come back to as well.
Oh, definitely. Okay, let's see. Canva's gonna work with me today.
Cosmic Convos presents 7 Cures for a Lean Purse. Teachings from the richest man in Babylon.
Can everybody see this? Give me a thumbs up. I can see you guys. Give me a thumbs up. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome.
Okay, so 7 cures for a lean purse. So
I already did the theme song.
what that means.
No,
If you are struggling with the empty wallet, how to cure that, right? So this is kind of written in old-timey language, so you'll have to forgive them. So number 1, part of all you earn is yours to keep. Oh my gosh, when we first read that, he was like, basically in the book, he said, you know, you give part of your money for, and we're going to use modern day conversation because this is not the exact verbiage he used, but you use part of your money for rent, for your phone bill, for your car note, insurance, you pay the merchant, you pay the milkman, you pay, right? All of these different examples. But we forget to pay ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We forget to pay ourselves. And you should be, and you know, money is energy. That's what we teach, that everything is energy. So we connect how to manipulate energy in all of our teachings. So when it comes to abundance, when it comes to attracting finances in your life, you have to align energetically. And when you experience something that is not necessarily in alignment, it is a signal from your energetic field, like, hey, something is not in alignment. And, you know, we are human. This happens to all of us. And what happens sometimes is, instead of us realizing, hey, we're not in energetic alignment, we kind of slip into that fear mindset, that mindset of lack, right? So we feel like we don't have enough money. I'm behind in bills. I can't do this. I can't do that. Like, how am I supposed to pay this? You know, and what has happened over generations and generations of time, especially in the Black community, you know, we have been programmed like, I can't afford that. I'm broke, you know, and these are all things that people say consistently in the community. And it's just like, that is not the right, first of all, change your bracelet. Second of all, that is not the right language or the intention to bring to the table, because, you know, your unconscious mind brings forth your entire reality. So if you're saying things like, I ain't got it, I'm broke, you know, we can't afford that, those are all words and affirmations of lack.
Mm-hmm. And when you think about that tithing to God, whether you religious or spiritual, that tithe, that first tithe, if you are going to some kind of temple or church and tithing, you need to tithe to yourself, because that God is within you, first and foremost, within your temple. So remember that, and then share your abundance with others. Let it overflow from your cup into others' cups. You ain't got to empty your cup, just let it overflow.
Exactly. Sparkle Bailey said on the morning meetup today, imagine that there's 2 cups on top of each other. The top one is yours, and all of the overflow is what spills into someone else's cup. So get rid of that mindset, half empty, half full, because that is also from a space of lack. You're operating from a space of lack. We should be all operating from a full cup.
And even when you think about it being half water or half liquid, half air, it's still a full cup because it's full of something.
Right. So we got quotes at the bottom. For every coin thy put into thy purse, only take out but 9 for use. Start thy purse to fattening. So out of every dollar, or let's say $100, because that's easier.
Or every shilling. take out 9 gold coins for yourself.
No. You use 9, you take 1 for you.
Yeah, that. Oh.
And so what happens
You got
is
it.
there's psychology. I think we're off center here. Come here.
Let me get over here.
Yeah, get over here. Okay. That's better. Every time you put a little bit to the side, there's a psychology behind it. When you know how energy works, when you build momentum, what happens is it starts to flow. That's why it's called currency, currents flow, right? So your money's not supposed to sit, it's supposed to be moving, because that's how it grows. That's how it works. That's the way the energy flows. So when you put a little bit to the side with the intention, and we'll get to one of the other cures later about what to do with that 10%. But when you put enough to the side, you build a little momentum, and then you start to get your money to work for you. We're getting a little further in, but once you get that movement going, it starts to pick up pace, right? So take 10% and set it to the side for yourself.
So on the second cure, you got to control your expenditures. So you want to make sure that your necessary expenses will always equate to your earnings until you're protesting. So your bills and all that, you pay yourself first.
The thing is, it doesn't matter. Okay, if you say, oh, well, okay, let's say, for example, you have $3,000 worth of bills, right? And you make $3,500 a month. You're going to assume that you make exactly how much your bills are. Because if you say that these are my necessary expenses, I have to spend this much money, you're going to feel that way. You have to make putting money aside you have to make it a priority. You have to make controlling how much you spend. If you only need $3,000 a month, be strict on that. We're reading in the morning meetup, we're reading Unreasonable Hospitality, and he talked about in business how he operates 95% to the penny, and the other 5% is for just free, right? A very small amount is allowed to just do what you want, but 95% to the penny, right? It's important to control your expenditures, because that's exactly why some of these football players go broke, these basketball players go broke. Once their contract is up,
make sure you got more assets than liabilities.
Yeah, once their contract is up, they done bought all the shoes, the cars, the mansions, and now they have to keep up all of this stuff, and they don't have the same kind of income coming in. So control your expenses, especially while you're building.
You got to make your money make little money babies, because that's how smart money moves. Because it's a currency, it's energy, and it flows. So when you flow with the rhythm of the cosmos, it's just going to return to you in abundance.
So the truth is, the way that we've been programmed in this current matrix, especially in the financial matrix, is that you have to show up and work for somebody else. You have to show up every day and work for somebody else. And what happens is you get money for your time. And they've programmed us that this is exactly what happens. And this is how you have to operate. You have to operate this way. Otherwise, you're not going to survive. And that's where the programming starts to seep in, right? So the truth is that the money that you make from that outlet, you can take that 10% and then do cure number 3, which is make it work for you, make it multiply. So the gold that we may retain from our earnings is but yet the start. The earnings it will make shall build our fortunes. So when you take that 10%, it's like what Sahat said, is like looking for assets, finding things that are going to, and what an asset is something that is going to make you more money.
So, for example, you are in a crypto, you're doing some kind of trading, you're doing government contracting, which is recession proof. There are so many different ways to make your money make more money. Content creation. I mean, there's numerous ways.
Definitely. And then number 4, guard thy treasures from loss. Oh, okay, I'll keep going. Are
I
you
didn't
just
know.
mouthing? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was about to read it, but then you read it, so I was just like, I'm just gonna keep mouthing it. At least the first one. I mean, I can keep mouthing it if you want.
Okay, so
Go ahead.
anyway, protect your losses. Stop.
No, just
Protect your treasures from loss. So one of the amazing stories from this book, they talked about this guy who went to a carpet maker and gave his 10% earnings to go get Phoenician jewels or whatever. And so the guy who was like his mentor, he came back and he was like, you gave your money to a carpet maker to go get fine Phoenician jewels. Like, that doesn't make sense, because you have to get your information from a credible source. You have to get your stuff from someone who is actually doing the thing. A carpet maker is not going to know anything about Phoenician jewels. So when he came back, of course, he lost all his money. Someone else robbed him and he didn't know what was going on, and he lost all the money. So, when you're making investments, when you're breaking out of that financial matrix, it's very important to really align yourself with who is an expert in this field. Learn who is on target and who is on track in this field. And guard thy treasures from loss. Misfortune loves a shining mark, and create security for thy principal.
so you gotta make your dwelling a profitable investment for cure number 5. So what are you doing in your home that you can bring some abundance with your own natural gift, what you already got? So think about how there's so many different ways that you can own a home, you can own real estate, so many different ways you can buy real estate, you can buy someone else's business. And there are as many businesses out there for sale as more than people that are creating businesses. I'll put it like that, because you have a lot of baby boomers who have businesses and they don't, their children don't want to do what their parents are doing. So that's one way to make that dwelling a profitable investment.
And he suggests that you own your own home as well. And even if you don't necessarily own your home, definitely own some kind of property at some point in your life, because, property actually always goes up. It goes up and down on the market, but over longer gaps and spans of time, property is continuously going up, and they're not making more land. So
property is gold when you think about it. I mean, whether you own some land or not, you got an Airbnb or not, if you own the land, you're golden.
Yeah, definitely. And then ensure a future income. A lot of things that people aren't, and this makes me think of Auntie Shakey's live last night. People are not thinking about their future. I know for sure the millennial generation, we're not thinking about retirement. Like, that's so far away. You know what I mean? Like, this generation is not necessarily thinking about that. But the problem is, especially if you're still stuck in that matrix, if you're still stuck on the hamster wheel, you have to plan for retirement, because when you retire at 65, if you're going according to the plan of the matrix, when you retire at 65, what's going to happen is, you don't necessarily have enough money to continue your regular living. You're going to have to live off of a very small portion of what you're typically used to living on. That's why a lot of these elders end up working at like Walmart's or things like that. They have to go back to work with just like a little part-time job to get extra money. So if you're planning now, it's going to help you in the future for sure.
Yeah, so get you some of them life insurance policies, something, so that you can be your own bank, them trusts, and put your businesses in them so that everything can flow towards the next generation. Keep that generational wealth flowing.
Miss Cassandra will tell you, she's a life insurance agent. She'll tell you get you a life insurance policy, and, don't let it doesn't necessarily have to be one with a death benefit. Let it have a living benefit. Allow that life insurance policy to benefit you while you're still alive.
Absolutely. And then for cure number 7, you're going to increase the ability to earn. So in learning to secure his one definite small desire, he hath trained himself to secure a larger one. This is the process by which wealth is accumulated. First small sums, then larger and larger sums. So when you start to control how you spend your money and see that a lot of the things you don't necessarily need or you don't necessarily utilize on that level, that you can live a very comfortable life and not have I'll say an attachment to materialistic things. And that's not to say that you can't enjoy the finer things in life, but remember that what you're looking to do is secure the bag, build the bag so you can secure the bag. And the best way to secure that bag is to control your savings and make your money, make little money babies, and keep it flowing like that.
Definitely.
Have you a couple of pots, have you your savings pots, have your spending for bills and living, and then have your investing pot.
I think the key is different streams of income. That's what we're working on right now, is having multiple streams of income. They say that the average millionaire has an average of 7 streams of income. I've never really considered myself average. So like in my mind, 7 is like a minimum. Like, okay, 7 streams of income, let's go. But I would like to kind of integrate here. I am a spiritual integrator, so I help you connect mind, body, and spirit in order to take you to the next level of self-mastery. So how does abundance play into this whole spiritual game? I would love to dive deep into that because, first of all, we are one with Mother Gaia. We are one with all things. The things that create our physical body is exactly what creates or makes up the universe, right? The you and I verse, there is a universe within us. Okay. So if you are comprised of the same elements, the same atoms, the same structures of a universe, then you are connected to all things, which means you lack nothing. You lack absolutely nothing. So if you're ever in a space where you're like pressed by the matrix, just, focus on a solution, but also bring awareness to the fact that you are one with all things. Even if you're a little late on something, it's okay. You can catch up. But I feel like what happens is we get stressed out and we slip straight into survival mode. Drop a me in the chat if you resonate with that. Like drop straight into survival mode, and then you lose all of the things that you were taught or the things that you actually know about the way that, yeah, I feel you, the way that things flow, right? And so, hi. It's true. The matrix is so convincing. It's like, oh my God, it's so real.
It's such a convincing simulation.
Yeah. And so it hurts, and that's why when you purchase something such as an investment, something such as a coaching program, something such as something that'll help you grow and develop, but you pay a pretty penny for it, you get this thing called buyer's remorse, where you're like, okay, I want you to drop it in the chat real quick. What's the most amount you've ever paid for for one thing? It could be a vehicle, it could be education, it could be a program, it could be a mastermind. I know a lot of us in here are entrepreneurs, so mine is probably going to be a mastermind. And when I say for one thing, I mean at one time. Like you went and you dropped the bag, your car, okay? I dropped a $30,000 mastermind, right? the highest one that I've spent coaching, exactly. I've spent $10,000 on a mastermind so far. And there's a few that I'm like, okay, I need to get that one, you know. But something happens when you spin that bag the first time. You know, we've purchased a couple of them so far. We're actually in one right now we just spent $10,000 on. But something happens the first time. You like, what did I just do? What did I just do?
I ain't never did that before.
You know, and it's the programming. It's the programming. I would love to know, Akyiaa, how did you feel when you dropped that 30 racks on the mastermind?
I felt that I needed it. I had done some workshops and I made some substantial money from the workshops that I did. And so it was a portion of that. It wasn't all the money that I had, but I felt like that was where I was really going to get the answers and learn. And the only problem that I had with the mastermind, I was so busy that I couldn't fully participate. I was just slammed with work at the time. So I didn't fully participate. But one of the things that I did get from the mastermind, and it made me laugh my head off. So I think spending the 30 stacks was pretty good. I learned something about pricing my services. And I remember they asked a question like, why don't you double your prices? And I thought about it, and everybody went up there and talked about how unworthy they felt, or I don't, feel strong enough to ask for more, all of these things. And I kept thinking, why didn't I ever double my prices? And then I started cracking up and I said, I just never thought to do that. I had no problem with charging for my services. I just never thought to double them. And so what I did instead, I went home and I added a 0 to everything. So I 10 times everything. And, I didn't want to do the math. I didn't want to have to figure out what the numbers were. So I said, okay, just put a 0 on the end and we're good to go. So that in itself, because now everything I taught was worth 10 times the amount, I actually, made back my money tenfold from that. So that in itself was great. But what I would suggest if somebody's doing that, make sure you have the time to really participate. That's the only thing that I do regret. I didn't have the time to fully participate because I was so slammed with work at the time.
Wow. That's beautiful. And what I love about your story is the return. Mm-hmm. Being able to invest in yourself at that level, you receive a return, and even though you weren't there to fully participate, that's $30,000. You better get something out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Add a 0.
Add a 0. That's beautiful. And I also think that's something important for entrepreneurs to pick up as well. A lot of us are undercharging. And I say us because I am also an entrepreneur, but I was also undercharging, and I had to have Markwell Russell look me in the face. I mean, it was on Zoom, but me directly, and was like, so you're gonna, what are you doing? My course was $777, and it was coupled with weekly coaching. And he was like, you mean $14,000? What are you talking about? Like, charge more, charge more. And I was just like, oh my goodness. And I resonate with that, Akyiaa, like being like, well, 14,000, but the thing is, you're talking to a very different person when you raise your prices. You have to be very clear on the individual you're talking to and make sure that that person has that kind of buying power, because oftentimes it's not necessarily the money, it's what what the value is that they're receiving.
It's that energy exchange, because when you pay, you will pay attention.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Miss Sam.
So what you all were saying about spending, it seems like it's a big thing when we spend $10,000 all at once. But we have no problem with giving our money to buying homes and buying cars and doing things like that. But when it's an investment for yourself, it seems like oh, I ain't got that type of money to invest in myself, but you got that type of money to invest in a house or car or materialistic things.
Right. You getting shoes every other week. You going to the weed man every week. You know, you got all these other things going on, and you're not really in alignment with what's actually going to benefit you in the future.
Not unless you buying them houses and them cars and flipping them and,
Right.
and renting them out or something. Like you running the play.
But most people aren't doing that. Most people are not doing that. It's so funny. Even in The Richest Man in Babylon, and this is written so long ago. But in that book, they talked about like the guy would leave and he would come back and see what his apprentice did with the money. And so he was successful. And then he spent it all on vacations and living lavish and doing all this stuff. And then he was like, you still haven't learned. So generational wealth, and I think it's important to open up this conversation, especially within the spiritual community, because it is our time at this point to begin handing down generational wealth. You know, that's the reason why we don't have children yet, is because we haven't reached that level that we want to be comfortable in handing down the empire. You know, we still building it. So I think it's very important to bring awareness to that. Go ahead, Akyiaa.
Absolutely.
Okay, so when you say about charging, I don't think it's the price so much. It's like you hit the nail on the head when you say it's the value. What does someone truly value? Because I had a neighbor, and when I first got my acupuncture license, she found out I did it. She had a pain in her calf. So I treated her once or twice for the pain in her calf. I went to her home, took all my equipment, went over there. She was just 2 doors down, so it wasn't too far. And then I said to her, you know, if I keep doing this, I'm using up all my supplies. So I told her, I said, I'll charge you a $20 fee so I can replace the stuff that I'm using on you. But that's not my regular charge for treatment. And she came back and told me she couldn't afford the $20. So my kids were friends, hers and mine. And I went over to her house to pick my daughter up. And she was on the computer and she was ordering shoes from Saks Fifth Avenue at $300 a pop. This was someone who said they couldn't afford $20. So I realized it's what the person values. She did, the pain in her body wasn't her value. It was the shoes that she wore was more valuable to her. So I started realizing what you do, you find the clients that value your service, and you never have a problem with charging. That's what I have found over the years.
I love that.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful story.
Yes.
I love that. Samuel in the building. What's up, brother?
Get your angelic energy up here.
Yeah. There we go. There we go.
Hey, oh wow, same colors on your background. Look at that. Hey everybody. I like to share some as well. I've been resonating here in the background. Forgive me for being off camera for a little bit, but was getting all, freshening the energies and stuff. For me, I resonate very heavily, and I'm honestly, it's funny because as we evolve, as we ascend, as our mindset changes, sometimes we feel like we take a step back, like life hits us, matrix hits us, and then we find old programming start to try and take root again, and that's when we have to be strong in our new learning, in our new understanding, and really be consistent with what we know, be consistent with, mindset. How does this situation make you feel, right? Because as Sahat and Ray alluded to, the matrix, it's especially with our people, we know the history, it's all about, oppression, and lack feels oppressive. It's very oppressive, and it tries to rob you of what? It tries to rob you of your divine power. It tries to rob you of your divine inheritance, right? One of the great ascended masters from the ascended master of love said, "Come to bring you life and life more abundantly." Well, that's our divine inheritance. We are the abundant beings, abundant spiritual beings. You see, we all have a natural blueprint. Our original blueprint that is connected in our cells, in our genes, in our Akash, is divinity. It is divine royalty. right? And then when we reincarnate, we learn from our parents, and our parents have habits, and we learn from society and, you know, situations and traumas. And so we start believing. Thank you, Azula. Love you. And we start believing, and we start adopting codes, programs, and start writing over our own blueprint. Now, our original blueprint, which I call the divine blueprint, it never stops, it never fades, but it's on the back, it's in the background, right? And then we have to reteach ourselves, which is Ray and Sahat helps us with, right? We have to reteach ourselves what truth is, capital T. You see, as they said, money, energy, abundance, it is a state of being, just like heaven. The kingdom of God is within you. You are part of source. It is a state of being, right? When we are in harmony with it, everything flows. When we are off target, not in alignment, when the current isn't flowing as smoothly, then we have a dam breaks up, but that dam is not insurmountable, because we have to remember that the current that flows through all things, that flows through us, is the current of love, the original love. And we can overcome that. But see, money, right? Money is, or energy, abundance is a blueprint. Everyone has a financial blueprint. You say, what is that? How do I have a financial blueprint? You know, you have people where you heard they have billions, right? And millions, right? And then they lose it all. And then a couple years later, they have it all back. How is that? Oh, well, they got resources, knowledge, maybe, right? Knowledge definitely helps. The more you know, the better you can do. But their financial blueprint is different from yours. How do you change it? How do you change your financial blueprint? Easy. See, your blueprint energetically and spiritually, your blueprint first starts with your mindset. Your mindset then affects your habits. Your habits turn into actions. And what actions you take or do not take then create your reality. So then how do we financially change our blueprint, especially if necessarily we didn't know better? You know, you know what you know, but when you come into knowledge, that's why mindset is so important. That's why tapping back into source is so important. Because as you realize, Ms. Azula, Nilda, Tony, Manifest, Monique, Stan, as we realize, right, tapping back into source, what do we always get no matter what? Sometimes so much that we'd be like, nah, not really. We always get back, we love you. We always get back, you're more powerful than you think. We always get back, you're more supported than you know. We always get back, we want you to live in your highest joy and highest good. And we are here to help support you and guide you so that in your human experience, which is imperfect, we can help you live more harmoniously. So as we soak up knowledge, as we do the things we're supposed to do, as we learn that, right? Whether it's investing properly, as they said, making things your asset, right? Our mindset begins to change. So then when we're in the matrix, and even if you're still on a 9-to-5, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, have a spiritual entrepreneurship, and I also have a federal job and things, right? So I get it. You know, I'm not saying here like, hey, I am in the race with you, but I am moving out of it. So I get it. But as I change my mindset and tap back in, you know, we got to tap back in. We got to tap back in with like-minded and like spiritual people, tap back in and feed ourselves. So your mindset is like, oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, it's not like that. Oh yeah, I can overcome. Oh yeah, these are the techniques I need to use. Oh yes, gratitude. Gratitude and love, and gratitude is simply an aspect of love, is the single most thing that brings abundance in your life in all things. And being a good steward of your money. Well, what does that mean? Well, that means when you have loose change, you don't just throw it away because, oh, I got dollar bills, man, and that's a penny and that's a dime. That's a small example, but it matters because that's currency. And what you're telling to the universe is I don't need that. Better yet, instead of those coins, use it for something. Give it to someone, you know, pass that on.
Don't just throw it away, because then you're telling the universe energetically and subconsciously, which is more powerful, I don't need that. Oh, wait, hold up. Even if it's a little abundance, I don't want that. Being a good steward, budgeting. I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm the greatest budgeter, but I am getting better with progress, right? Budgeting. So I'm telling the universe, hey, this is what currently is reflecting in my reality, but abundance is my divine right. So I'm going to be grateful for what I have yet, learn to budget that, right? So that I can bring more. Thank you, universe, bring me more. So sorry, I don't want to take everything up, but I just want to hit on those points. Mindset affects your habits. Your habits turn into your actions, and your actions turn into your reality. One more point. We talked about different ways in this matrix to create abundance. In our matrix, the rule of 72 is a financial rule. It is the rule, the financial law. You can look it up, guys. If you don't know, it is the financial that everyone knows. You know, Warren Buffett, if he was on the call, he'd be like, "Yep, they right. They own something on them Cozmic Convos, boy." But the rule of 72 is the rule that dictates how soon your money doubles, right? It is the rule of your interest rate. So whatever say you have $10,000, right? And your interest rate, whether it's in an investment, a stock, whatever, is a certain number. Let's say it was 12. You have an interest rate of 12. That's how often your money would double. 12 per, so 12 goes into 72, 6 years. So your money will double every 6 years, which is why when you're in mutual funds or investments or anything, you're always looking for the highest rate of return, the highest investment. Well, Sam, how does that relate to spirituality? Well, we need to invest our time, our actions, and something that gives us back the highest rate of return, so that we can amplify and magnify what we're giving out. Someone just said, I was doing acupuncture with a friend, and I asked her, hey, I'm gonna charge you $20 so that I can at least replenish, what I'm using on you. I'm not charging you the full service by any means, but just so I can replenish. She was like, I can't afford that. And she paid for shoes that are probably hurting her posture, which is causing the problems underlying. Excuse me. That's what Spirit told me. Sorry. So the lady was not prepared to truly invest in something that magnifies. And so in return, it also, Spirit showed her, it revealed, it took away the glamour of her friend. Doesn't mean her friends are bad. I'm not saying anything like that. Don't beat me up. I'm just saying it revealed to you that where your friend's mindset was, and as you know, mindset affects everything. So though you were healing her and your work was profound on her, it had a ceiling. The greatest masters, Master Babaji, even Christ, even ourselves, we can only heal as far as we allow our minds to be able to, right? A lot of times doctors be like, you only got so-and-so to me. And then certain people be like, oh my gosh, and they're out of here. Other people be like, I respect your professional opinion, but you can also shove it, because you do not determine my Akashic record or when I exit on my contract. You don't determine that. I do. Me and Source does directly. And then they do what we call miracles. So I don't mean to go on off tangents about other things, but bringing it back, investment and mutual funds. So spiritually, what are you investing in? What is your rate of return? How can I get my highest rate of return to attract abundance? There's multiple ways, but also one of the main ways I know is tapping into the Most High. Whatever that is for you, tapping into Source. You can do that right here with Cozmic Convos, right? But on that journey, it is a constant fight until you ascend and you can teleport and all that stuff. You must always deal with ego. Ego will attack you and come at you in a plethora of ways. It will make you feel that people who love you and things have slighted you in ways, or slighted someone you love and things like that, all kinds of things, right? And usually there is an obstacle where the universe says, is this truly what you want? Let's test you, right? Are you ready? Are you ready to step out of that boat into the unknown, right? Are you ready to step out what you perceive as your comfort zone, but is now a prison because it has no growth, right? Are you ready to step out? And that's going to be uncomfortable, right? And things are going to shake up, and you have to, first of all, you have to go within. You have to connect with source and be like, hey, what is real, right? What is real? Is this a perceived real thing? Is this not? And then you have to give yourself compassion and those around you compassion and step forward into that. So invest in source. How do you do that? How do you 10x your currency? How do you 10x, your abundance? My dear friends, we 10x we magnify ourselves by doing what we were created to do, what we all came and incarnated to do. Serve each other and all things with the most profound love. Now that sounds beautiful. It's like, and you say, well, make it practical for me, homie.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. How, Sway? I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. You find your joy. What you mean find my joy? What makes your soul sing? What makes you unique? What you love to do, Tony? You're an artist, you're a musician, right? Do that. Mrs. Azula, you help people. Ray, Sahat, spiritual integrators, right? Find what you say my soul sings. Because that energy of aligning yourself with what truly makes you happy and then sharing that with others, right, brings currency to you. One of the people I look up to who will be a mentor, Billy Carson, right? He says, one of the things to get wealthy is serve a need, right? Now, there's tons of needs out there, but you can also find a need within what you love to do, what you're good at. Steve Harvey says your gift will make room for you. That's abundantly true. But sometimes we keep putting our gift, and I'm guilty. The angelic knight is guilty. Well, he's not, but Sam is guilty. Sam is guilty of putting his gift at times on the back burner. Why? Because sometimes he gets caught up in the matrix and still has bills and things like that. And he's like, oh man, this takes time to build, but this right here, trading my time, but you're never getting back your true worth. And then you're frustrated and all that energy, and it's stagnation, and it's lack. You tap back into source, tap back into your family, your spiritual tribe. And then you remember your roots. So I say that. So your investment, just like in mutual funds, stocks, crypto, whatever you're doing, trying to get a high rate of return with the rule of 72, right? I have some finance background. Let's get a high rate of return in life. Let's invest in source. Let's invest in our divine selves, our divine blueprint. And as we go through our human experience and we get shaken up, and we start to forget our divine blueprint, how do we change that? Oh, wait a minute. By remembering our original blueprint, by fixing our mindset so that we can change our habits, which will then change our actions, which will then manifest the reality that we truly desire for our highest good and highest joy.
Absolutely.
Love that. That was so eloquently put. I love that.
That was a sermon right there.
My bad.
No,
it was a good one. In a good way. It was a good one. We got people in the comments.
Talking about preach.
Akyiaa said that she had patients who were told their doctors told them that their children wouldn't live, and they didn't believe what the doctor said, and then their children are living like years later. Amen. I think that is so beautiful because the power of the mind. Literally, your mind is what creates reality. Like, we are all creators. The proof is every single thing that you physically see in this visual spectrum right now. the computer in front of you, this microphone, this book, the cell
clothes
phone,
that you're wearing,
the clothes you're wearing,
house that you're in,
everything
everything in the house.
If we were not creators, you'd be sitting in an empty void of space. There would be nothing around you because we are constantly co-creating the reality in this existence that we're living in. We got a question real quick. Nilda, go ahead. You can unmute yourself, love.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry that I had my video off, but I have a really bad head cold and I didn't want you guys to keep hearing me sneezing.
No, you're
Sam,
fine.
the angelic knight, I gotta tell you, I feel like you were just like channeling all my thoughts and they were all coming out of your mouth. So that I really wanted to put that out there and say thank you for saying a lot of the thoughts that I was thinking of. But something I wanted to add, because this has been an experience that I have gone through, is that if you want to know where your thoughts are, look around you and see what's happening around you. That usually is a good indicator for us about where our thoughts are in that present time. And I'm going to give you guys an example. Akyiaa was the one that invited me here. And I've had the pleasure of taking Akyiaa's creation course. And when I was taking it, one of my goals was to stop having these negative thoughts about money, me and my relationship with money. And after I used to come out of the course every week, I would stop at the lottery store and buy a scratch off. And every time I bought the scratch off, since I started taking this course, I will win. I will win something every single time. And it got to be like so fun. It wasn't about how much I was winning anymore. It was about the fun of doing it. And every time I went, as soon as I did the scratch off, I would be wholeheartedly laughing. And every time I went back to the class, I would say, guys, I did another scratch off. It just became this thing that we had going on. And a couple of times I won $100. A couple of times I won 20, 10. It didn't matter what the amount was. It was all about where your mind is. And so I just want to share with you guys is that every time things are not going right in my life, it's because I ain't thinking about them right. And every adversity is an opportunity for us to reset that switch. Because every time I have an adversity, though it may piss me off at that moment, we're all human. I am not going to tell you that every time I have something go on in my life that I go, wow, that was great. I'm so glad that happened to me. Probably not. Maybe a day or two later, as I marinate on what's happening, I realized that that was just source letting me know that I need to switch gears. And that's not working for me. Another thing I just wanted to mention is I had to learn about MYOB. Mind your own business. Because when we're trying to create wealth and do things for ourselves, things just keep coming up. Your sister needs this and that. Your best friend wants to cry about what's happening with their husband. That's not your path. Sometimes you got to let people figure their stuff out while you try to figure your stuff out. And that's a hard one sometimes, especially if it's close to your heart, like if it has to do with my kids. Of course, as a mom, I want to get involved. But when I get involved, they usually are upset that I got involved because they just want me to be there. They don't want me to fix it. I had to learn that. So I had to learn how to start minding my own business and stay focused on my own path. And things just seem to flow every single time I do that. And the last thing I wanted to share with you guys is something that Sam touched on as well is every time I've had something happen in my life that I am not happy about, I put it in God's hands and let him know that I don't understand how to handle this, what to do with it, how to do it. When people are looking at me and saying, you know, I'm one of those that are still a little bit selfish with my gifts. I'm still trying to figure them out. I'm a former bank manager, been in the financial industry. So he talked about Rule of 72. I was thinking about all those things while we were talking. But as I walk on my path, and he was talking about the things that really make your soul sing, I was like, stuff like we're doing right here, that's what makes my soul sing. Helping one person just change one little tiny thing. You ain't got to eat that elephant all at once. They say inch by inch is a cinch. Rome wasn't conquered overnight, or anything didn't happen overnight. But if you just stay focused, put those blinders on, like those horses in New York and Central Park that have those blinders, they go one way. If you do that and you set your sights on your goals, you're going to get there. It could be a small goal. It could be a big goal. Doesn't matter what it is. But focus requires you to stay looking at your target and not let adversity distract you. That's really the bottom line. So thank you guys for everything that you shared. It just made my soul just light up hearing all this great information from you guys. And I feel so blessed that I was here with you.
Oh my gosh,
That
Nilda.
was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing with us. I love your energy.
Oh,
There is wisdom just
Thank you for your
Thank you.
love.
out of you. You are so divine and beautiful. Thank you.
Just
Thank you for that.
magnificence.
And
Thank
thank
you
you,
for that.
Akyiaa,
So
for
much.
inviting her.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
I be loving spirit.
I know, right? Divine
It's
alignment.
amazing how I'm a bit emotional. It's amazing. You know, we were talking about currency. We're talking about ebb and flow. We're talking about maximizing. We're talking about magnetizing abundance. It's amazing how when you come together, right, like mine, with high integrity, high intentions, don't y'all feel magnified right now?
Absolutely.
Don't y'all
Infinite.
feel that? Like, you know, Miss Nilda just came on and she shared her wisdom and her thoughts. And it was an affirmation for all of us, but I just felt so much love, right? Right. And she talked about, you know, a little bit selfish with her gifts and stepping out more. Man, I'm guilty. I'm guilty of that. You know, I know this day and age. I know I'm a Generation Z or X, whichever one. And you know, it's all about social media.
Either one, you're Gen Y.
Oh, I'm something. I don't know. I ain't hip to them terms. I'm an old soul. What you talking about? Understand? I'm something, right? And you know, it's all about social media and putting yourself out there, right? Me and social media have never, well, let me change that, change my bracelet. Me and social media are getting more acquainted, and we're building a better relationship. Because I at first wasn't really, you know, for my age, not really off the social media, but I realized I'm being selfish with this gift. And so just a minute ago, I just sharing love, right? We're like all of us are doing, sharing love and knowledge to amplify each other. And Nilda comes on, she says, you were channeling my feelings and thoughts. And Spirit goes, you know what I've been talking about, bro? You playing. You know, you need this for yourself. You need this nourishment for yourself, but you're being selfish because you don't know who else through the, you know, my guides through you, because we're all vessels of love and the divine. We are divine. You nourish others. You gotta, that's the part you gotta remember when you're in the struggle of life, or no, when the matrix is trying to cause you to struggle, because life doesn't have to be a struggle. No,
It's a choice. Struggle is a choice.
Yeah.
You choose to struggle based on what your focus and what your
I agree.
is. Yeah.
So
I agree.
I thank y'all for this tribe.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Go ahead, Miss Monique. Or coach, should I say Coach Monique?
That's all right. Coach Monique, it's fine. First of all, thank you for inviting me. Let's start there because I love it. I could take off this human suit and be cosmic and speak spicy and not be looked at like I'm crazy. I love it here. Okay. So with that being said,
We getting jackets soon, Cosmic Convo jackets.
count me in. I need one of those. Miss Nilda and Samuel both mentioned channeling, right? And so, oh God, come on, self. When I channel, I channel. I'm a black girl and I channel. And my conglomerate always says we. And Samuel said, "You are loved more than you know," and that in different words, but that's always the message. It's always we love you, we. And I'm like, who is we, and what, and why are they telling me that they're the conglomerate? And what does that mean? And why do I have 6 guardian angels and 3 conglomerates? Like, what is this? Help me. I know it's off topic.
No, it ain't.
But I know y'all.
It is not on topic.
It ain't.
Not.
This is the right space for that.
Yeah,
Not ain't. It is super on.
100%.
Come through, Sam.
100%, money.
You
Come
shoot
through,
like
Angelic
Legolas.
Light.
You right on target.
So Samuel is actually a very proficient channeler. You know, I love the Black community that is coming out into this channeling space because it is such an innate ability that we have. But for some reason, that part has been stricken in our unconscious mind to be something to be fearful of. You know, oh, that's the devil, watch out. You know, they programmed us that, you know, when you are being spoken through, that is not necessarily like, that's not good. That's not something to share. But that's our divine right to be able to step into a space of channel. We are vessels, you know, and Samuel the Angelic Knight is one of the most proficient channels. And I'm gonna be honest, I know I'd be pumping up his ego or whatever, but it's true. It's true. It is always a message of divine love. It is always like, and you feel the energetic shift when his guides come in.
Mm-hmm.
When they come in, you can feel the energy change.
I gotta forgive me. I'm allergic. You know, every time, you know, I start feeling a bunch of love, I get allergic reactions. My eyes start watering. I'm not crying. It's allergies. It's allergies to all this love.
You better let them dendrites break off.
Thank you.
That is the first time that I have shared that with anyone outside of my sister and my husband. So thank you for this space.
Absolutely.
We're hugging you.
Absolutely. And if you would like to continue in this space to develop that skill and understand your guides and things like that, I'd infinitely, because not only the reason why at first I didn't use the term channeling is exactly what Ray hit on. You know, it is so loaded language, right? That, you know, and people, oh, channeling, ooh, that's bad and things like that. And so I use what I like, the more accurate term, a divine link for higher beings of the divine divinity to come through. Now, the word channeling is not a bad word, but you know, it has loaded language, but that's what I am. But I share a unique space with you and understand infinitely, because outside of maybe 4 other people, I don't know any melanated channelers. You know what I'm saying? I don't
one
know
of them is related to you.
Yeah, and one of them, right, and one of them is related to me, right? So it's definitely a rare space, but we have that gift most abundantly. And absolutely. So step into it. Step into it.
Yeah.
Step into that.
I just wanted to add something. You know, your story touched me so much because I come from a Hispanic culture. And in my culture, if you see things or you say things or you experience things, that's some voodoo shit going on. Right. Somebody wants to trick you and pour some holy water on you and say some prayers and tell you to take baths and do stuff. And meanwhile, you're really having these experiences. And like in my experience, I was dumbing it down for a long time because I didn't have anybody around me like myself. And so I didn't want anybody to think that I was like a voodoo spiritualist or witch. I mean, all kind of names, whatever they want, bruja, like we say,
Right.
and it was a negative thing. And when I met Akyiaa and I was sharing some of my experiences with her, she was one of the first people that said, you know what? You're a spiritual warrior. You're one of those people that if I have demons or anything attacking me, I want you on my side. And it just felt so good to be around a group of people that have experiences like mine and I can talk about it, where I don't have to be made to feel like I have to stay quiet or, I'm a witch or I'm a voodoo or I'm a whatever they want to label me as. But all I am is just a person out here to serve, just like all of you are, and just trying to find my path. And so if I see something ain't right, don't look right, don't feel right, it ain't right. And so I know intuitively that something is amiss. And I had to learn that there's a lot, we want to walk towards the light, but there's a lot of things that want us to walk towards the dark. And I'm not about that life. So I said from this point forward, I was not going to be quiet about what I've experienced and who I am. And I'm going to let my voice be heard. And if people want to think I'm a witch, a bruja, a spiritista, whatever they want to call me, it's okay. I've been called worse.
Wow.
I appreciate y'all feeling open to share your experiences because, speaking on that, I've had some wild experiences of my own, seeing spirits and shadow people and all that. So I'm grateful that y'all are here to share in those experiences and know that you're not the only one out here with those kind of experiences.
Absolutely. And I love that we have this space to be able to share together, because for so long in the spiritual community, you had to go through it by yourself. Mm-hmm. You couldn't talk about it because, she's a witch burner. You know what I mean? Like the way that we've been programmed over generations and generations and generations is to hide our magic. I resonate with you, Nilda. My family's Haitian, so we Caribbean, and we have voodoo on the island. And, voodoo is such a huge common misconception. I think it's evil, but it's not necessarily evil. I mean, it's just like a person, like a gun is not evil. It depends on who's using it, right? Voodoo is a tool in order for you to connect earth and nature or earth and spirit together, for you to tap into that space, and it just depends on how you're using it that determines if it's good or bad. Voodoo is not inherently evil or inherently bad, and it's got a bad rep over the years, the generations.
Colonization. Due
to colonization mostly. Yeah, definitely. Miss Akyiaa, you've had your hand up for a while. Thank you so much.
I am 100% enjoying the whole discussion, listening to everybody. I am here for it. Like what we said, the reason why we hide our abilities, we hide our gifts, is because of the backlash. Like you said, I'm from Jamaica, so we have Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Haiti, a lot of the Caribbean in this building, it sounds like. And it's the same thing you hear, you're doing Obia man,
Yeah, right. Oh, right.
So
that's what they say.
Yeah, we've all heard it, but then what I look at, because of being a clinician, one of the first things I got to do when I'm working with a patient is find out, when did it start? It's not so much that they show up and they have a bunch of symptoms or illness, but when did this start? And it always starts prior to them experiencing that first symptom. So I always tell them, well, go back a couple of months and tell me what was going on in your life prior to that. So taking patient history, I also started looking at the history of spirituality and how that went about. And so whether it was colonization, whether it was war, conquering, the first person that had to go were the spiritual people. The first people that they had to get rid of was a high priest, high priestess, because those were the people that were like Nilda, was like Samuel, like yourselves, the spiritual couple that was able to see the truth, because intuition is nothing more than telling the truth. That's really all it is. And because you could see through all the BS, and you could say, no, what they're telling you is a lie, don't go over there and all of that. We were the first to go. And then the spin was, well, what they were doing is bad and evil and it's up the devil and all of that. So that has been going on for time memorial. People don't even realize, like I hear about people drinking children's blood. We're not even going into politics or anything, but the whole thing about people drinking children's blood, that was said about the early Christians. That was said about the Jews. That was said about any marginalized group. It has always been these tropes that, that was said about before they burned the witches. Everybody's always killing and drinking children's blood because that's like the worst thing you could do on the planet. So that was something that was always used to make people suppress their gifts, suppress who they were, and not really shine. So that is something that we've always seen when I look at the history of it. So when I look at history, my question is always, well, why is someone trying so hard to get you not to be who you are, to get you not to shine your light? And it's because if you do, you will know that you have this untapped, unlimited power that rests within you, that is you. And if you start tapping into that power, God knows what you would do. So when I got the message to do Creation for Manifested Miracles, I was told that this was going to just be a playground for people to come and really play and see what they could do. And just be like children and just play, use your imagination, go to your wildest dreams, and then manifest that, because miracles should not be hard. This is what they told me. Like Samuel said, you hear we. I think Coach Monique, I said it right, Coach Monique also heard we. And they do show up as a team. As I never heard anybody that's spiritual or any of the spiritual team show up and say I. They have never said I to me. They all say we. We will do this. There's a whole group of us. And when we look at it, we're not alone. This universe is so vast. There are beings in every single dimension, every single part of this world we could think of. Different planets, different dimensions, different star systems, galaxies so far away that, they don't even look like us. They don't even use the same words that we use, but as you need them, they show up. And like when I told Nilda, when I first met Nilda, all I heard, and I said, my God, you are such a strong spiritual warrior that if I'm ever under any kind of attack, you're one of the first people I call. And about a year or 2 years later, she was one of the first people I called when I found out I was under severe spiritual attack. So, we can see each other, we could spot each other, but it's for us to step in and not be afraid of our own power, because we're in a place where I never wanted to use my power, not because I was afraid of power, because I rejected power because I saw so much abuse of power. So anytime I was in a community, I would see either the guru, the leader, they would just abuse their power and abuse people around them. So I felt like any type of leadership, I could not take on power, and I rejected that. And that was, as Samuel said, being selfish and stingy with your gifts, because I refuse leadership, because I'm like, I'm not doing power because power is bad. Everybody I know abuses it. So we're in the right place, and I'm glad that you all have this platform that you could be open to these discussions, because you don't know that what you may have to say, and I would tell everybody on this call or anybody that's on the live, put in your comments so we could hear it, because you don't know that what you may have to bring may be the answer to someone's prayer. Someone is looking for exactly what you have to give them tonight. So don't be shy and don't hold back. Thank you all so much.
I love that. I love that. And you bring up such an amazing point about how we view things. You didn't want that power because you saw that other people were abusing their power. And I feel like a lot of people see that same thing with abundance. Like, well, the people with money are over there just doing stuff outlandish with their money, so that must be evil. And it's like, no, it's like the gun. You know, it's not the money that's doing it, it's the people that are behind the energy or the whatever it is that they're utilizing. Whether it's the money or the gun.
User error.
Yeah.
Yeah.
User error.
And the other thing that I have to say about what you say, it's like what you use things for, how you see it, and the perception in which you do see something. It's never truly what it is, because most of us think, oh, then it must mean this. And a lot of times that is the overall energy around you. Like, I wanted to steal a statement that Samuel says, that he called it changing your money blueprint, or what your money blueprint actually is. And one of the work that I've been doing with people with creation is like stripping away all of those things, all these things that you think you believe in, all of that, which truly isn't you, is just things that has been layered on you. And I always tell people, they say, well, what do you do? I said, I'm kind of like a window washer. You know, I come in and I just scrub and wash off all the stuff that's been stuck to you, so that that light, you know, your window, you're able to shine that into the world. You can finally see the light in that window. And so a lot of the times what we're thinking is us, and our thoughts, they're not even ours. They're just what we pick up from the environment around us. And so if you start to really say, look, I want to just be true to myself, you know, so much will start to unfold. And, you know, your spirit team will guide you and lead you. And that's why I started to use words very specifically. Instead of faith, I say, I trust. I trust that if I ask for something, that would take place. I don't have faith it will take place, because faith always denotes there's some kind of uncertainty might be there. And I always say, I know instead of believe. I know that my spirit team is there. They've shown me so much of the spirit world that I know that for a fact. I don't believe that there is a spirit world. I know that there's a spirit world. I know that when I do work with people, they are going to change, and they change rapidly. Why? Because I experience it over and over and over, and so do they. So it goes from just trusting and having faith and believing and knowing. And what you all are bringing a platform for us to really trust and know that this world is real. The spirit world is real.
I love that. And
Thank
something
you.
you said reminds me of, I study neuro-linguistic programming, which I absolutely love because it really breaks down the functionality of the brain. And one thing is, nothing has meaning except for the meaning you give it.
Yes.
And so that's why perspective is so interesting, because we can, all four of us right here can watch the same incident take place, but from a different perspective, it would have happened differently from where we are. Like if you were to see a car accident from one side of the street to the opposite side of the street, you can see something totally different. And that reality is your truth. Mm-hmm. Is any one individual person wrong? No. That's your truth. That is your perception. So when you give something meaning, you gave it that meaning. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And belief in that meaning is what reinforces it. Yes. Right? So thank you so much for bringing that up. That is such a beautiful, beautiful point.
Yes.
Miss San, you had your hand up for a while as well.
Yes, I just want to say this has been awesome. And if everybody can put their information down, so maybe we could have resources here, and here, so that we can reach out.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So Akyiaa put her Sunday Zoom in the chat. It is Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern time zone. Is that right, Akyiaa? Eastern time zone. So 3 p.m. Central, San. So I highly suggest going to this event. It is absolutely amazing.
It's a must check out. Yeah,
it is absolutely amazing. And for those of you that are watching on YouTube, what we're going to do after this is over, we will put the links in the description below. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste that right now. And we'll put the links in the description below. So for those of you who are, if you're watching the replay, you'll have all the information. But if you are watching on YouTube or on Facebook, I'll go ahead and add those links below for you. Thank you. Thank you. Samuel, do you want to close us out?
I would be honored.
Take the floor, brother.
Give me just a second.
Okay. So as you prepare, I'll go ahead and tell everybody. So Samuel,
Appreciate it.
of course. Samuel is a amazing, beautiful channeler, and he is Samuel, the angelic knight. And he is going to bliss us with his divine vessel, his guides, his spiritual entourage, and he channels the masters. Master Yeshua comes through quite often, the angelics, and it is always just a message of pure divine love, and it moves you. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and allow him to prepare himself. He's doing an invocation, kind of a preparation to allow spirit to divinely flow through him. In the meantime, while he is doing that, I wanted to drop information regarding our masterclass coming up on March 26th. I can work computers. Oh, well, except I had did that. That's right. You know, when you copy and paste, you can only copy and paste one thing at a time, apparently. How do you send this? Oh, like that? Okay, there we go. All right, and we're dropping the link in the chat as well. And feel free to send this along to friends, family, anyone who you feel like is in alignment for this event. And we will see you on Sunday. All right, brother, whenever you're ready, go ahead, take it away.
Okay, real quick, after I channel, I'd like to put my social media, so if any of you also would like to connect with me further. Disclaimer, some of my social media I just created. I told y'all earlier that we're getting a better relationship with me in social media, so don't be like, is this really him? I don't see nobody on there. It's a new social media, so y'all can populate it. But
can I say something, Samuel? We're in the same boat. I am learning from Rayella. She's like my social media mentor right now.
Matter of fact, Akyiaa, you should tell him your mantra, your affirmation.
Oh yeah, like you said, social media is, you're getting to be friends, because mine was like, oh, I can't stand the computer, I can't stand it. So my mantra has been, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better with the technology and the internet. That's
yes.
So when I sit in front of the computer, I do that.
Yes, and my introvertness, because you could ask Ray and Sahat, like those are my that's my family. But there's still things they are learning about me. They'd be like, bro, you really be compartmentalizing like you Batman. I'd be like, I do, but I can't break out of that.
Like, wait, who are you?
Right. Yeah. All right. Let's have fun, guys.
Let's do it.
I want us all to energetically hold hands.
Okay.
Those watching, even in the future, because time is relative. So let's all hold hands. I want you to energetically squeeze the person's hands and just give out and reflect love. Let's step into it. Greetings, dearest ones. We are a divine council. And we are most honored to be here with you through the vessel, Samuel. And we greet each of you specifically and intimately. We know who is here. We see you. And we ask you now to open your heart. Listen clearly and feel the resonance of the truth that we will share. Greetings, ambassadors of love. Greetings, children of Source. Greetings, rays of the new dawn. Greetings, manifestations of the purest divine love. Dearest ones, the cosmic conversation each of you had, did you feel the power? Did you feel the gravity of the truth? Did you feel it resonate in your cells, in your minds? And we spoke of abundance. Abundance and how to manifest, how to get into alignment with abundance. And our vessel spoke about the blueprint, the financial blueprint. Just a second. They had me come out of channel to turn that off. Hold on. We spoke about the financial blueprint and how to be in alignment with abundance. That is, once we remind you that you are love. Each of you is held in the arms of Source, like a babe in its mother's arms. Each of you is wrapped in the most warm, profound womb of love. And do not let the glamour of the matrix delude or deceive you into stripping yourself of your power. What do we mean by that? You are more. You are far more than what others perceive of you. You are more than your current bank account. You are more than what you think you have or own. You are everything that Source treasures. You are divine treasure. And when you tap into that truth, when you tap into that pillar, that law, that you are divine treasure, then there is once, when you drink, when you allow your consciousness and your cells to drink in that truth, how then not can your reality then reflect other treasures? You see, there is ones tonight, we spoke about money and currency and assets and making sure that your materialistic assets are more numerous than that may bring you financial debt. All important. We come to remind you of your single greatest asset. Furthermore, hear me. I speak to you directly. Do you want to know what Source holds as its most beloved asset? It is you. Quiet the ego. We hear them. And we will say it again. You are Source, the Most High God, whichever name you use for the all of love. You are its most beloved asset. It takes joy in co-creating with you. co-creator. It takes joy when you arise, and it supports you in every intimate moment of your life. And it says, dear one, what shall we create today? It says, dear one, what shall we affect today? And that is why all Vessel and Master Ray and Sahat and all the masters on the call today spoke of joy. Finding your soul's joy, because that opens the heart chakra, and the energy from the heart is most powerful. And so if you're in your joy, if you're in your talent, if you're not hiding your gifts and your value, and when you remember you are a divine treasure, so you will not cheat yourself when requesting your worth in your services, that reverberation then cascades on all those you come across and washes over them. And then within them, you as well get to kindle the fire of divine love within. Yes. Isn't that beautiful, my friends? That we get to come together in unity, in love, in ascension. And we get to look at each other and say, I see you and I honor the God within you. I honor the divine reflection. I am simply a divine reflection of you. And we all are intimate reflections of Source. Abundance. It is your birthright. Continue to give your soul nutrients, your mind nutrients, so that the paradigms that no longer serve you in your highest good and highest joy may melt away. You may free your mind from whatever paradigms no longer serve, so that you can consciously analyze and discover, change, or delete habits that are no longer the path you choose to walk. Because the path you choose to walk, dearest ones, right, is the path of great joy, of great creation for each of you in your own unique ways. Your soul signature can be felt throughout the cosmos, and more abundantly felt when you are in alignment, when you are in flow. So change your mindset, unleash it, nurture your soul and your mind, your consciousness. Change your habits of that of growth, of positivity, of harmony, and then let your actions reverberate. Each of you here listening, each of you here together, did you feel the activations that you unlocked within each other? Did you feel the shifts of energy within you? Did you feel the incubator of transcendence that you created by sharing your truths, by giving compassion, by speaking wisdom, by having acceptance, and those all watching now and in the future, they are included in this incubator of activation. We love you. We are excited to be here. All of you have such powers and gifts. And as we look upon your souls, we see them. Your souls are mightier and greater than your central sun, but that isn't taught. And the part of your soul that now inhabits your corporeal divine shell, or your body, is just a stream of the ocean that is your soul, which makes of the ocean that is the infinite love of source. You are magnificent. Remember that. And in your imperfect human experience, it may not be perfect, the human experience, but you are still divine. We will end with this, dearest ones. A mantra we want you to repeat, either out loud or in your mind. We will say it slow so you can know it, resonate with it. I am a mighty money magnet. Money flows to me easily and effortlessly. I am so grateful to receive it. And I am so grateful that all my needs are met. I am a mighty money and abundance magnet. Abundance flows to me easily and effortlessly. I am so grateful to receive it. I am so grateful that all my needs are met. Ambassadors of love, we love you. You are intimately, fiercely, intricately, divinely protected and supported. Know this, and let your soul song sing. Because when you do, you will find that it makes room for you. There are billions of souls that your gifts will touch. You may not know each of them intimately or personally, but just as a droplet drops into a sea and it ripples, those ripples reverberate throughout the body of water. Your unique energy, what you share in love, what you share in your divine power, reverberates throughout the cosmos. We, the divine, are grateful for it. We thank you. We love you. We support you. And we bid you, dearest one, namaste.
Namaste, brother.
Yes, thank you, thank you. That was beautiful.
Yeah. Got me vibrating in a whole different frequency over here. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, well, everyone, thank you for spending these last couple hours with us. We are beyond elated. I'm manifesting that you take home with you so much abundant spirit, abundant life, abundant love, and just allow that to infect the rest of your life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we will send you guys more information. Samuel, go ahead and put your information in the chat real quick.
Okay. What was my Instagram again?
I think it's Samuel the Angelic Knight.
Yeah, I know it's got like a hashtag. I just created it, guys. Don't.
Ain't nobody judging.
Yeah, send me. Let's connect. Let's connect. I'm out here. Be dropping content with my family, Ray and Sahat. And I will send you my YouTube as well. Y'all have Collective Conscious YouTube, right? What is it?
We have, yeah, Collective Conscious channel. Now there's another Samuel, and it's Samuel the Angelic. Sorry, my phone's all cracked up, but it's that dog just like yeah, it's Samuel underscore
There we go.
underscore Angelic Knight. So I will, let me see, copy profile URL. Here we go. I got y'all.
Okay, Samuel underscore the Angelic Knight. And that's okay, my Insta.
I'm gonna put the link so that everybody can just click it.
And I'll put my YouTube. My YouTube is Soultritional. I'm also gonna be creating more content there, both channelings and also spiritual counseling. And I named it Soultritional because, you know, we feed the soul with nutrition, right?
Yeah.
So I am infinitely grateful for the opportunity to connect with all of y'all and to be of service. Thank you, Ray and Sahat, for loving me.
Absolutely.
Simply put.
Infinitely. We haven't spoken in a little minute, so we're gonna hit you up because
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
They disrespectful. I gotta go to that other job. But my mindset is back in the right place. So
yeah. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone. And we will see y'all next week for another.
Thank you. Please connect. I love you all. Please show up. I love y'all. Thank y'all for this, family.
Love y'all. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Vibrant evening.
Thank you, Azula, San Tony Manifest, Nelda, and Coach.
Right.
We connect. Yep.
Absolutely.
Namaste.
Namaste.